What's good? It is Sam, and it's been almost 24 hours since my last video I posted, and I've been thinking about it for a while. So, anyways, if this is your first time here, make sure you press that subscribe button and stay tuned. I am documenting my journey of getting to $100 a day online, showing you what I'm doing, how I'm marketing it, what I'm talking about, as well as, which tends to be the most interesting stuff for most people, is how much money it is and where it's coming from. So if you have any questions about anything that I do, let me know down below in the comments, or jump over on Instagram. It's at sam.stoll, or there'll be a link in the description. With that, I wanted to get into, so as you can see, I'm wearing a suit. I wanted to talk about I don't want to say benefits, but and I'm going to talk about a specific example, but there's a perception from other people when I go into public wearing this, and you hear about it all the time, right? Or like my girlfriend or other people, or females, or of different ethnicities doing something and being treated differently. And I am by no means comparing this to that whatsoever. If there's a modicum of similarity, it's that people are treated completely differently based upon how they look. Now, I went to the DMV in Massachusetts. It's called the RMV, which is the Registry of Motor Vehicles, or something along those lines, instead of the Department of Motor Vehicles like in most states. In Massachusetts, it's called the RMV. So I go to the RMV and I go after work. It closes at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or whatever time it closed at, and I'm there maybe 30 minutes before it closes because I just came from work. So I'm wearing a suit, and it didn't register with me at this moment. Somebody had mentioned something, but so I go in there, I bring in the paperwork, I have a passport, and I have my Florida state ID. I fill out the paperwork, I go up there, and the lady takes the paperwork, and I'm still holding onto my license and holding onto the passport, and she goes through her stuff, and she's like, oh yeah, so this is a Volvo S40, blah, 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 blah. Finished going through it. By the way, don't think that a Volvo S40 is anything special. This is a 20-year-old vehicle practically, and surprisingly, the heated seats still work. But, so I go through, finish it up, and I pay for it. Not once did she even ask me for an ID. Not one. I just registered a vehicle without an ID. Like, what kind of ridiculousness is that? And then I'll go shopping, not often, but so I just dropped my girlfriend off at the airport. On the way back, I'm completely out of food since we went to Rochester for Christmas. By the way, I hope everybody had an amazing Christmas, and I also wanted to thank you so much for support through your views and your questions and reaching out to me on Instagram. I really do appreciate it. I think it is such a blessing to have that, and I have a lot more content on the way. Anyways, and you go into the store, and you get treated differently. Just because I'm wearing a suit, people like to think that I have my shit together, or that I know what the fuck I'm doing. In reality, it's literally, I act like a child 97% of the time, and I just happen to have a suit that I'm wearing today. You know what I mean? It's very interesting, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and what are some of the things that you notice? Like, I know it's there, and you have to take that into consideration when you're going into certain environments. And at the same time, it's almost like you want to be able to, you know why it's there, right? From probably more than likely long time ago, for survival. But how it's manifested today in today's environment is, I think there's some opportunity there for myself and everybody to just be cognizant and aware of those things, so people are not treated unfairly for you know what I mean? Like, I can go into the same store in my gym shorts, sneakers, and a t-shirt and sweatshirt and get treated completely differently. And I don't know, you see videos like that on YouTube, and it's definitely real. And yes, I maybe get it in a positive way. Like, clearly I have an advantage being like a white fucking dude in America. I mean, that's just what it is. But at the same time, it's very humbling to recognize that how much of an advantage I can notice just by fucking wearing a suit, that it goes in the opposite direction for other people. And it makes you, you know what I mean? It makes you want to do something about that. Because yes, it works to my advantage, but just like it works to my advantage, it works to somebody else's disadvantage. And I don't necessarily think that's the right thing. And that's why I wanted to make this video on it. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Also, if you want to support this channel, make sure you press the subscribe button as well as that bell notification. If you're still watching at this point, thank you so much, and make sure you press that like button. I'm very curious to hear what you think down below. Have you experienced this? And what could we do as a community, right? Like, what could we do to impact this in a positive way? Like, how can we, as an individual, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a dialogue that I think would be a healthy conversation to have on a grander scale, in the microcosm of individuals and families and friends, but also on a grander scale to help bring awareness to some of these things. Not the way the media makes things worse in terms of race. That is I'm not even going to talk about that. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. And lastly, if you want to support the channel financially, there is a link to Amazon Associates down below in the description. It essentially takes a tiny little bit out of the profit that would go to Amazon and gives me a small slice of it. I make videos on exactly how much. If you click on the link of my back right there, brings you to the channel. If you go to some of the videos, you'll see that I make a few videos on that. I'm up to $22 and change, so go click on one of those videos and watch it if you want to learn how I'm doing that. Anyways, thank you so much. Excuse me, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. Anybody who mentions anything about this burp in the comments definitely gets a pin to the top of the comment section. Peace.